he or she, they toil hard for the sake of the Lord, they do well, and then he finds that his neighbors revile him for it. It sort of makes you at first discouraged, doesn't it? Now think of yourself as the one toiling hard, and then the Lord blesses. You are vexed because everybody around you is envious. Isn't it a terrible thing that man is not thanked for doing a good work, especially spiritual work, but is envied instead and hated for it? Really shows the perverseness of man. And it can be a discouragement for you if you pick up on these things as well, or you hear of such things. Again, Solomon rubs our faces into what man is like and what a life lived merely for under the sun, for the sake of that which is under the sun is. We'll have to talk about the remedy then. You're envied for the work that you do, and the Lord blesses you in all these things. If you merely were living a life purely for that under the sun and not thinking of the Lord, where would you find relief for your soul? I do well and men hate me. What kind of world is this? What am I living for in this place? You can see the vexation that there is in a man's soul. I'm hated for doing well. There's a whole side of the political spectrum that is built around hating men who do well. Not just men who abuse power and authority and those evil things, but even want to tear down those men who do well. That's part of our fallen condition. And so if you were merely living for the things of this world, what an awful thing it is that you might do well and be hated for it. So it makes you ask, who am I working for? I must labor for the sake of the Lord himself. Now, with that said, a couple of applications in this heading. And the first would be that we ought not envy the works of others, but rather rejoice. That's the cure, isn't it? Is that when somebody else is doing well, what we have to pray to the Lord that we would have the grace for is to be happy for them, to be joyful for them. Look at how the Lord has rewarded their labors. What a gracious God he is to give undeserving sinners so much good and blessing. If we would take our eyes off of ourselves and put them upon the Lord, where they ought to be, we would bless the Lord that he is so good to men who deserve hell. And that would make you think upon, why am I envious? What do I deserve? I deserve the fire. I don't deserve anything. I am not worthy of the least of his mercies. Why should I think I deserve anything? In fact, I should turn back my eye to my own estate and say, all this in Christ too. How good God is. He's given two sinners so much more than they deserve. This is the way that the spiritual man ought to turn his gaze and turn his heart, which is that I don't deserve what I have, neither does that man, and so what should I do? I should bless the Lord. I should thank the Lord that he has given such a man such diligence as well, such good gifts that this man has exercised, that this man is not slothful, but instead is diligent in his labors.